everyone. We are today interviewing yet another PDP trainee of mine, Shabnam. Unlike a lot of trainees that I have interviewed so far with a lot of personal and professional transformation, Shabnam's story is a lot more inclined towards her personal growth and transformation. It's a lot more inclined towards the inner growth journey that she has undergone inside PDP. This is her second round in PDP going on. She stepped inside PDP for the second time, and now she's first changing herself before changing the lives of others. And today, we as psychologists, the reason I am sharing this interview with all of you is because I want you to listen to her journey, take inspiration from her in the sense of how it's so much important for you to first work on your own self, become a living embodiment of the work that you preach before you move ahead and share your message with the world. Something that I also posted on one of my stories yesterday was that when your cup is full, it overpours. You don't have to make an effort. You don't have to really, fetch things from here and there. All you have to do is empty your cup and then fill it with the right things, which is exactly what Shabnam has done. And today she is changing lives. So now let's invite Shabnam. Okay. All right, guys. Let's have a look. Awesome. Till then, all of you can tell me, how is everyone doing, guys? What's happening? What brings you to today's live session? It is going to be one incredible session. I know it. Okay. Shabnam, can you see my invite? Okay, we will wait. Instagram as usual. Can you see my invite, Shabnam? You can also send me a request through this camera that is built at the bottom. So you can send me the request to join the live. Okay. So there are multiple parts of therapy, I would say. There's assessment and then there's therapy. So if you don't feel inclined towards counseling, you can go towards teaching, you can go towards assessment, you can go towards research. Is that your question? Okay. Shabnam, I'm sending you requests. Can you see them? Or can you send me a request from your end? I hope you're joining from your phone. Yes, net will help you as a professor. So if you want to practice as a professor somewhere or anything along those lines, then net. Hi, Shabdam.
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Awesome. I am so excited. How are you?
I am doing absolutely amazing, ma'am. How are you?
I am also good. All right, Shabda, great interview. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this. So let's get started. Start by telling us about your journey, right from the very beginning to discovering Psyche, to finding PDP, jumping inside once and twice, and then we'll get to your personal journey and everything. So let's get started.
Yeah, so when we are in college, right, when we are doing especially psychology like field, there is no clear how do you say, career prospect, I can say, because teachers don't usually sit and tell you like, oh, you have to do your masters, you have to do your then you have to do your practical training, then you have to do, they don't say anything like this, or they don't just talk about field at all. They are just like, oh, welcome to psychology, these are the lessons I'm going to be teaching you, these are the lessons you're going to be learning, we are going to be focusing on exams. So you can do exams till a point, but if you don't feel like, or if you don't even know why you are writing your exam, you will you will not have the motivation to study or anything. That's the same thing for me when I started my journey. I loved psychology. Psychology is the field I wanted to go, and I am here because of that one reason. But during my third years of bachelor's, I felt like so disconnected from the subject because everything became about some sort of theoretical, the same theory we keep on learning. It was really annoying. And that is that's the time, when I was thinking of what should I apply for masters or not and everything. When I was in a really dark phase, that was when I saw, okay, I saw an ad of Psyche, and I was like, okay, might as well join and see what is this all about. I knew about you when you were doing your UGC net program you did. It is literally on March 3 years ago, by the way. So that time I saw you the way you spoke. I was like, wow, I want to be just like her, But again, we meet people in such an amazing way that few months later, my one of my friend, I was debating whether this was my first time making a resume and everything. My friend was like, might as well just apply and see. I applied, and I didn't think I will last 3 months, but now my relationship with Psyche has gone till 3 years. And even when I was doing my masters, the only clear cut route I had was that, okay, I will finish my masters. While doing my masters, I will be preparing for UGC NET, and once I clear UGC NET, I'll become a teacher. That's it. That was the only thing, or only way I thought. If you are a psychology student, that's the only way you go, because nobody teaches you counseling, nobody teaches you what to do regarding counseling. And then where do I go and learn it? Where do I go and do it? So that just felt like so much of hassle. And plus, I also had a lot of inner beliefs and limiting beliefs that were like, I had my own emotional baggages I needed to deal with. And that was one question I think I asked you, ma'am, if I cannot help my own self, how can I help my clients? I don't want to mess with my clients. So but today, if I'm looking back at that side of me, I think it came out from a more space of love towards my clients. And I think that same love is now propelling me to be more vigilant in my inner work so that I can give them the best. So how did the change from that scared, fearful, no possibilities of anything, from there, how did I actually become a counselor? So I started, like, I was working in Psyche for a year when I was helping in all the promotion work and everything, and then suddenly you said me, why don't you do PDP yourself? And I was like, okay, I was in my second years of masters, and I learned a lot from you before itself, stepping inside PDP. Every shift that you were going through, working with you, I was also going through that shift, and that made me like, I remember sitting and putting cost benefit analysis to join PDP. That was like two years ago, to join Minipi, to say, okay, is this the right time for me to join? And it did. The batch that I had, I think that interview still exists in our page. The person that I became, the knowledge that made me believe that I can be a counselor. And a lot of aspects of PDP helped me to solidify myself. But okay, I still had a lot of journey to go, since I am also, I had I was really struggling with social media. I was really struggling with self-esteem and confidence. And I don't like social media, to be really honest. Okay, I'm not a social media person, especially Instagram. And I think that also comes from a space of a control, because in Instagram, no matter how much you try to put your algorithm, sometimes it will just recommend random things, and even if you don't like it, it will make you see it, and then it will be like, oh, this is what you want. So that I want to choose the content I watch. I don't like being shown content randomly. So that kind of like irritates me regarding Instagrams. That kind of like put me off. And I also had a lot of limiting beliefs that I wasn't able to work in the 6 months of PDP for the first time I did. Okay. But I think it was good that I wasn't able to figure it out then, because after that, the 1.5 years of journey that I had was a spiritual awakening for me. I was going through a lot of identity issue regarding being a Muslim, and how do I combine my identity with psychology? And I was able to, it was the first grounding that PDP number one, I'm gonna call it PDP number one, gave me to propel my further inner work. And being with you, working with you simultaneously had made me go deeper and deeper. And finally, after 1.5 years, I kickstarted my journey with PDP again with this year. And I remember clearly there are a lot of things that you said that kind of reflected back to me later during this year, is when it made so much sense. Like, if you don't work on yourself, if you don't back yourself up every single day, if you don't do it, if you don't embody what you are learning to help yourself heal yourself, you will not be able to become or be that best version for your client. And for me, I want to be the best version for my client. That's the only goal I had. And I felt like, you know what? Might as well just go ahead and do it. Waiting passively for things to happen is not happening. And one thing I learned from you is, we don't sit passively. You want to change your life, then you gotta work on changing your life. And that started with boot camp. And I have a lot to say about, I know PDP is your signature program, and even if you don't do courses, just staying connected in the community with you kind of makes a lot of changes, because you have given certain trainings that you pass on to many people in your group. And I did just recently, I did a free training that you put in the groups, which for a gifters activity, I think. Okay. And I still remember the feelings that I had while doing that, and the kind of shifts it brought in me. And everything started from the boot camp. And boot camp was exactly what I needed to make me step inside my CEO zone, inside that top 1% psychologist that you talk about, because it made me trust in my abilities. And when I trust myself, and when I back myself up, and when I 100% know what I am doing, or where, or for what I am doing all of this, it kind of makes the process more intuitive in nature. And I think that's why in the PDP2 that I am, when we come to PDP, by doing it second time, I had this notion, chalo, okay, it's all the activities that I did again. So I will be like, I will breeze through it. And it was so different. I i forgot that, or I'm getting to notice that even if you do PDP one time, two time, three time, no matter how many batches you do, it's never going to be same, because the person that is teaching you is never the same. That you who taught me 1.5 years ago was different, and now that 1.5 years have propelled you or has prepared you to become something more. And with your more, that more is what you give us. Okay, the techniques are the base, and you build upon it. And you do remember me telling in PDP classes, right? When you start with such nice, beautiful, easy activities, and then it will be like deep inner work, and I would be left to be like, wait, I have not thought about this at all. I haven't gone inside this much detail at all. And when I go, something shift. So right now when I'm doing the PDP for the second time, I'm having shifts that are matching the level I am, and it's kind of amazing, to be really honest, how it's happening. Okay, so no matter me doing PDP 1, PDP 2, it's I am different, you are different, and the people that we are meeting is different, and the kind of combination of activities we are doing is different, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I think today I have stepped inside a sort of I have embodied a part of myself that I have never ever embodied before. And I'm like, I can't be so grateful to you and Psyche in what you guys have done for me. So that's my entire journey from not knowing or even imagining being a counselor. Today I get to put that name, counseling psychologist, next to me confidently, knowing that anybody who can challenge me and say, Shabnam, you just have an applied psychology degree, what are you doing? I can say, okay, you know what? Let's do a counseling session and see if I'm skilled. You can put it into practice. Okay, so from functioning from a space of fear, oh my god, what this person will say, what they will say, me being, what will my clients say? Will my clients be okay with the person that I am showing them, or will they not come back to me? And that, I think, was what changed my perspective from people to why I'm doing this counseling in and itself. What is the purpose of me being in the field of psychology? And it gave me so much meaning and purpose in life.
Shabnam, I think I have had this blessing and opportunity to witness your growth, for that matter, very
Yeah,
closely,
yeah,
because we've been
yeah,
together, and that's amazing. But still, I think for everybody else who will be listening to this interview later, who is listening to this interview, what was Shabnam like before
mhm,
PDP? Like, and
mhm,
I want to actually understand your milestones of growth.
mhm,
This question might seem like, okay, I'm just tagging a question out of nowhere. You haven't prepared for the interview.
mhm,
But if you have to like reflect back on the milestones of your journey
mhm.
before PDP, who was Shabnam before, stepping inside Psyche and everything? And what is the identity of Shabnam that we are seeing today, and how are both of them different?
Okay, so first thing I would like to start with, most of the time in my life, I've functioned from a space of fear. Okay, for me, that space is so easy to be scared, to be fearful, and I was also functioning from a space of a really lack of self esteem. For me, the fact that I have the potential, the thing is, it was not that I didn't have the potential, it was just not me. I have learned none of this in the psyche in my life, to be really honest. For me, psyche was the first door to even, you know, the world of practical knowledge. I was someone who studied well. I love psychology. I love studying psychology. Even teaching psychology is so easy for me. I used to like teach my friends, my juniors. It is so easy for me. But you need to give me something more than just theory. Okay, and I was not getting that in my college, and it used to frustrate me a lot. It used to frustrate me a lot because teachers used to treat us like, how do you say, like we are kids, giving us questions the same. Even the question paper was not like irking my brain at all. It was just like copy and pasting. So that part of me kind of made me feel like there is no lack of clarity on what I want to do. And plus, I don't have belief in my own self. And number three, nobody is even helping in this place. No teacher is telling us what to do, guiding us with any resources. They are asking us to go and just find everything for ourselves. We are like, look, we can study by ourselves, so we might as well look for ourselves. that kind of put me in a very bad space because I had the potential. There was so much potential in me. I loved psychology to such an extent, but I did not believe that I can be someone who bring healing to people. And that was so important. Hence, I was undermining my own self, my ability, the kind of person I was. And you know, today when I look back at the person that I was, I feel like, you know, saying so much to her because it was really hard. Doing every single thing was really hard, but I'm so glad I saw by chance Psyche, met Psyche, and was able to change my life. But even during when I was inside Psyche working, it was like a milestone after milestone, progress after progress. Like it was I always say this, even now my clients are saying this motto, that is, I say brick by brick. You can't just expect to heal one day or change one day. It has to be brick by brick. And Psyche was the platform that gave me the opportunity to build myself brick by brick, to identify where I was going wrong. So I told you 1.5 years ago, even when I did PDP 1, even if my healing journey kickstarted so much, I still had limiting beliefs. I still had issues with posting and everything. Now I am seeing a different version of myself stepping inside with PDP 2, being able to work this space out. Like now you will not believe. Like, I mean, you do know, I was so camera conscious. I would never ever thought I would take a reel. Okay, the first post of mine after the logo reveal in the page Conscious Muslima is a reel. Like, my power is the way I speak. So I used to sit, like, I did start a page called Therapy with Shab, and I used to sit pulling my mind, like, what is the content I should prepare, what's the content I should prepare, what's the content I should prepare. Okay, and it will come out as carousels. I have to post carousels. So much of pressure, so much of, that's what, functioning from a space of fear, functioning from a space of lack. I don't have enough. There are so many concepts out there, and also a very lack of proper understanding about what psychology really is. Okay, we think, even now I tell it to my own students that, you know, they're asking me, ma'am, counseling, there is no scope in counseling. Tell me something that there is scope in. And I say, even a barber shop has a scope. Okay, why not you? The scope is you. This is something that I learned from you, that I am passing on, and they're looking at me like I'm just sprouting some nonsense, because it makes sense. When you are in the field of psychology, when you're doing a degree of psychology, they make you believe that there is no scope for you. I think that's what the education system is doing. But I think with you, people like you, we are understanding that we have so much to give to the world. And I think with with more than my, I will also share my clients success. But I think if I am able to change, I can tell 100% that this will help my client as well. You know, when it is working on me, then I don't need anybody else to tell me whether this technique works or not. I know it myself. So there's not going to be anything from fear at all. I mean, I think most of the time we function from a space of fear, and shifting the identity shift that you talk about, the shifting from the fear to safety, from fear to faith, from fear to belief in yourself, in others, in the world, in the universe, in God, is the lacking part that I needed. You know, when you were doing in the boot camp, that was so needed, right on time. I needed that to change. And now sometimes I look in the mirror and I like, who have I become? What kind of a person have I become? Because all the things that wasn't possible for me for years are now so easily coming to me. And again, it took every single day trying, failing, trying, failing. I remember sitting in my therapy, like we have Counsel the Counsel program in PDP, sitting and crying with my PDP mates, like, or with that much intense emotional baggages I was carrying. But to see this side of myself, I think I would go through that pain all over again if I have to be this person, because my clients deserve the best and I deserve the best for myself. And I think that's what we are becoming right now. Yeah.
Wow. So this is amazing, Shabnam. I think we have kind of captured, taken a recap of your personal transformation, the person you were and what you are now, and also
Mm.
I think what you are becoming. You mentioned
Yeah.
something in between this, which I think I want to expand on, like something that we
Mhm.
just touched upon. You mentioned how if some technique has worked on you, it gives you
Mhm.
100% confidence that it is going to work on somebody
Yeah.
else as well. So do you
Mhm.
want to expand more on the same, like how do we work on it inside PDP? And
Mm.
this particular section of this, like, how does everybody else know? How are you applying the technique? What is happening? How are you learning it?
Okay, so this part is called Counsel the Counselor program, right? I mean, wait, this part is where we apply whatever we are learning. So, simple thing is, I think as a psychologist, psychology is not just a profession, okay? If you are a doctor, then you should know how to treat if you have a fever. Okay, if you only treat your clients and you don't treat yourself, then what's the point of being a doctor, right? So my teacher used to tell me this, okay, one of my teacher used to tell me, when I was in my master, she'll tell me, Shabnam, not Shabnam, but generally, you are your best therapist. And that time it didn't click me, but now it clicks me a lot, because when I am in the counseling space, especially when we are sitting and dealing with the techniques, whatever you are learning. So I'm learning the technique, and when I apply the technique on myself, everything, this is a habit now. Okay, I watch a YouTube channel, I am applying it. Even if the guy is teaching me something like just some technique. Okay, that habit, many people don't have that. Many people like, I want to get skilled. Okay, I'm learning this. They will religiously sit and write all the technique, how to do it, where to do it, what to do it. But they have never practiced it. People have diplomas of many types, but when they are facing the real clients, they are like, oh my god, what do I do? They are looking for their books that they wrote, and as Simran told, वो books में भी कुछ है ही नहीं. That kind of a situation we are in, and I feel really sad for the students who are going through learning psychology. They're kind of losing the trust in the field, and they look at people like you, me, and they're like, wow, how have they come here? And I'm like, there is a way, okay? There is a way. The rule is simple. Whatever you are learning, you gotta apply it on yourself. Okay, and here Psyche has given that space. Inside PDP, you first of all have trusted members who are also fellow psychologists. So the values of you people are matching. That is value to give to people, value for concern of other people. That value is matching. And then you are able to, when you're applying the techniques on yourself while you're not doing it, and then you share. You share your anything shifted in you, you share that, and that's so wonderful. Even sometimes we write, it becomes overwhelming, but when we have, one thing I will say is that we need our pain or our happiness or anything to be witnessed. Many people struggle with loneliness is because nobody is there to witness their story, their understanding. And then when I sit there as a client, applying it on myself and telling these people, and the reaction they gave me is so affirming. is so validating, is so making me trust on finding a safe space. Yeah, I can share this. Yes, I can be this. Yes, now that I have put rest to this, I can think differently. I can act differently. I can rely on others to point me out when I'm making mistakes. So you don't become scared of mistakes at all. You are embracing the challenges. Okay, tell me, where have I gone wrong? Tell me. And when you are sharing in a space of five people, the shifting for five people are different. Hence,
True.
you are actually becoming wise, to be really honest. Once, there is this wisdom letter. What is that? A technique, right? When we did, there are people from 50s, there are people from 20s, there are people in between. There are many people who are themselves going through a lot of problems. There are new mothers, there are divorcees, there are people who change their field, all of them coming with their unique combination of experience. And then one technique, you make us tell their own experience. It's tremendous amount of knowledge, and your brain is pushed to accommodate that much of knowledge. And this knowledge is not some random Freudian theory again and again in every subject. This is real life example. This is real shifting, real pain, real people's vulnerable, raw, unadulterated self that they are showing it to you. And this is learning. This is learning. And I think we miss out this learning in the interactions that we have around people, and it becomes, when you take away advising, I think that's the problem. When you talk to your parents, when you talk with your friends, or when you talk to your cousins, it becomes advising. Here, there is no advice. Here, you apply, and there is only just honest experience. This didn't work for me, I think. This worked for me, I think. This made me feel like this. This made me feel like this. And you are left to feel like, wait, what? This is also happening. This is also happening. So it's just light bulb moments. You will just feel light bulb moments all over again. And when you do that, when you experience that, you are able to reciprocate that to your client. I have client who tells me, wait, I think I'm having light bulb moments. And I can resonate with them because I've been in that situation of feeling that light bulb. Okay. So it's when I sit after practicing the techniques on myself, when I go there and sit in front of my client, I know what my client is coming from. I know the space my client is coming from. So I will never take being a therapist as a, what's that word, as an advantage or as a something to exploit. I will never take that, because my role there becomes so much more purer, so much more holy or divine, because I worked on myself, right? So I know how this technique is going to make me feel, how this is going to challenge me, how this is going to make me worry or face certain areas of my life. And when my client is going through, there's only and only pure respect, pure, genuine, that unconditional love for their growth. And you just want to try better, be better, because you want better for yourself. And I think that's what it does. That's just one aspect of PDP.
Absolutely. So, Shabnam, I want you to expand more upon, we talked about limiting beliefs, and that's the part that you're
Mm.
working on inside PDP
Yeah.
this time. I think the
Mm.
first part of PDP was more about the professional Shabnam, the
Mm.
professional transformation that you went through. So let's try and elaborate on that. Like professionally, where was Shabnam skill set wise, expertise wise
Mm.
before PDP? Where are you now? And
Mm.
we've already expanded more upon, this part of where how most observations, most internships emphasize on you working on others and experimenting,
Mm.
versus PDP is you working on yourself as well as you working on others to gain
Mm.
that skill set and confidence, as well as that conviction, that inner embodiment that I know what I'm
Mm.
doing. I know it
Mm.
because I worked on myself and I worked with 50 to 60 people
Yeah.
using these 300 techniques. So, what I want you to expand on now is professionally, where were you
Mm.
before PDP?
Mm.
Where are you right now? And walk us through this journey.
Okay. So I would say my professional starting point itself is PDP only because I have zero place to start before PDP. There was no place, there was no dream, there was no goal at all. I told you, I didn't believe that I could be a counselor at all. And with PDP, even inside PDP, I didn't believe. Okay? It was when I started PDP, number one, that time the people, there is one mechanism in, we forget this. This is not just a tool in PDP. This is something that I think we should have it just naturally in life, is giving genuine feedback to people. We don't do that. It's always about either competition or it's always racing. It's always become something or the other in this world. We don't just pause and we just don't look at our colleague and like, hey, I think this is where you're going wrong. Maybe try this. We don't do that. Feedback is so important. In feedback, I found myself. Every single feedback that every people gave me, they're like, Shabnam, you're so good in this. Shabnam, you're so good at this. You made me feel like this. You made me feel like this. Even if you don't trust yourself, you are forced to trust yourself because like this couldn't happen. If one people tell you, okay, you can say like, oh, against 100 of my own voices, one people's voice, to kya hota hai? But there are every single session, every single person saying that you are making an impact on their life. You're changing, something shifted in them. With you being the therapist, you are going to believe them. And I believed them. And that's how I embodied myself to be a counselor. But that was not enough because I had to sit and face my own limiting beliefs. My limiting beliefs were a lot regarding in terms of money, in terms of using the social media in and itself, limiting beliefs regarding the therapist role, regarding everything. And one thing I understood is that I don't have to fit a mold, you know. I don't have to fit a template at all. And me, I'm someone who has designed in Canva for so long, right? So originality is what we do. We don't like using one template. No matter how much we try, even in psyche, how much ever we try to use one template for most of the, after a period of time, we are like, yaar, ye nahi hoega. We have to create something new. So originality has always been in here, and it moved me to find the original me with the solid feedbacks, with the solid trust of PDP. Remember how I told you when I'm coming back in PDP2, I said I want to be in that space. I want to be in that space of PDP that is so nourishing to my heart and soul. To to it's like a cushion. It's like a cushion safe space, but it will also pull you in such a way that you want to become better, more better, face it and be with it. So I think we in boot camp we had two live sessions, right? In boot camp, every single one of them were struggling with the same limiting belief. When you have one thing, you can the beginner counselors come and tell me is that my clients are just like me. That's one of their nightmare, right? Facing yourself as a client, you will be so scared. You will be like, God, what is this? Is this what I am? This is how my problems are coming? And but because you want to genuinely help the client now, you will work on yourself. You will work on yourself to help the client. And that's exactly the kind of professional development happened, especially in the boot camp. The boot camp that you had no name at all for. I was expecting PDP to start that week, but PDP didn't start that week, but the following week. And I was like, chalo, boot camp hai, join karte hain. And I joined the boot camp, and first of all, the activities itself was everything regarding mindset. I have cried sitting there. I have laughed sitting there. I'm like, ma'am, you are a crazy woman for making us face all this parts of ourselves. Because as everybody says, डर के आगे जीत है. Fear is nothing. And you taught us that. And you taught us to face the fear. Now, the person that I've become, I have faced my own fear. Nobody, anybody else's fear, I'm not deterred by it. Anybody, when my client brings me their fears, I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared. They are scared of their fears, yes, but they come to me, and I am not scared of my fears, and I'm not scared of my client's fears. I am functioning from a space of faith and belief, and I see that being mirrored in my client. They are learning it from me. They are modeling it from me. I am able to teach that part, face their fear head on. They get that energy to face their fear. And I was able to do that in that magical boot camp. I think I can do an entire live on the just the boot camp itself. But boot camp was the boom, the accelerating phase for me. The beauty of it was from fear to action. You move that. And when you move that, it became really wonderful. I didn't have this name, Conscious Muslima. I didn't have anything when I did the boot camp with me. But as you said, 5 things. Just write 5 things and start working on it. 5 things, work on it. 5 things, work on it. Next 5 thing, next 5 thing, next 5 thing. And fighting karke, I don't know how I ended up with a name that random people come to me and say, I saw your name in the group and it sounds so good. Tell me more about what you do. I'm like freaking out. Oh my God, where did these people come from? And I see people who are like an international organization following me. I'm like, yaar, मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं अभी तक. I haven't done anything. These people, what is happening? And I think in bootcamp we sat and wrote. And once I said, when I was sitting and facing my limiting belief of, will people come to me? Will I have clients? Will I have uh, what is that? Will I have people who watch my videos, my reels, who follow my page, or anything like that? That sort of limiting belief. When I was sitting and working with you in the boot camp, a thought came to me. Calling is your job. Bringing is your God's job. And that kind of changed me, because I am doing it for a reason, and that reason is so much enough. And the people who are, since I am taking action takers will be attracted to me. And that was a good mindset shift. Good mindset shift, because today I am getting so many like pro bono cases, because for this month of Ramadan, I actually wanted to open few slots of pro bono, and I haven't even advertised it. Like, the post is even half made. My slots are filled. I already have 3 clients for pro bono, just pro bono. And I'm like, how did this happen? Where? Okay, and my friends are now starting to see me differently. They are starting to see me not just as a senior, but as a senior who we can learn from, as a senior whom we can follow. How is this going on? I think when we were sitting, when we are doing the deep inner work, is when I understood I was not scared of the failure. That's the problem. When you made us look at all the things in our life back, right? All the things that have shifted. I've always been put into leadership position. Always. Every single people who anybody you ask, anybody who met me, they would have met me in through some sort of leadership positions, because school captain, was that house captain, even my sports athletics captain, and later on becoming library secretary, and then even coming to psyche and excelling in what I do. That's what I've been there. So the problem was never on my ability. It was my thought that was the mistake. And 1.5 years, I was sitting there not being able to face this one thought. But look at the power this one thought has. Now, when my client is sitting in front of me and telling me this thought is disturbing me, Shabnam, I'm able to get her so much. And I am able to understand how important it is to deal with this thought. Once I dealt with this thought for one of my clients now she has become someone so much different. She's like, hey, I think I can handle this. The next session is she's like, hey, I was asking her, do you want to create anything more trigger chart or safety? She's like, you know what? I think I can handle it. I think I'm okay. I'm fine with this part. Then I'm like, what's going on here? She did not even complete the worksheet I gave her. She wasn't even able to complete it. But the shifts that happened, that's so beautiful, ma'am. I can't tell you what's happening with so the kind of professional person I am becoming, I'm not just becoming a, a counselor, the best version. Usually I kept my best version only to my client. Now I am bringing the bold, safest one of my friend used the word safest, bold and safe bold or something she said that kind of touched my heart. I am safe and I am bold and I have a mission and I have a vision and I want to, there's nothing gonna stop me now doing it because it's so much larger than my fear. It's so much larger than my fear. And I was able to learn this only and only inside being with Psyche, with you and PDP and all the other things that comes with PDP. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Shabnam. I think witnessing you going through so many changes, I think it's almost like you were destined to be there, and
Yeah.
you just got the right resources at the right time.
Yeah.
So, Shabnam, if somebody wants to become a skilled, confident psychologist, or
Mm-hmm.
like you have gone from almost feeling like, I don't know, like, would I ever be able to do counseling? Should I probably settle for doing net and teaching,
Yeah.
going into people pleasing, doing, fulfilling somebody else's dream? To
Mm.
today, overcoming your limiting beliefs, your fears, and
Yeah.
reaching where you are, realizing your purpose, and today actually living it as well. Something that
Yeah.
gives you inner contentment and all of that.
Yeah.
So, if somebody is where you were 3 years ago,
Mhm.
not knowing, will I or will I not be able to succeed, all
Mhm.
those fears, maybe engaging into people pleasing or some
Mhm.
other limiting beliefs, everything along those lines. I mean, sure, you know that better.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your message to that younger version who is amongst our audience? What do you want to tell them? So, what do
Yeah.
what are they going through?
Hmm.
What do they need to do? What did you do that helped you? What's your message
Hmm.
to all of them?
Yeah, and one thing I would like to mention here is that I had passion for teaching. I love teaching, and that's why I thought, even if I settle for less, at least I'm settling for something I like. But again, that was my limiting belief. But when I came out of this limiting belief or working with the limiting belief, I got an opportunity to work. You will not believe this, ma'am. So when I love Islamic psychology or related to Islam, okay, and when I was doing, like when I was in my 12th standard, finishing 12th standard, and starting this bachelor's journey, I remember going and looking for that time. There was not much advertisements regarding these things, okay, so, and not much usage of phone also. That was pre-corona era. Okay, only few people had phones, especially they give to their 17-18-year-old daughters. So that time it was like, I wanted to do something for being a Muslim. I wanted to learn, do, but then I couldn't. There was one college I got to know. I so much wanted to go there because that college was right next to my own college that I went. Okay, the college that I went was studying what is that? Psychology alone. But that college teaches you Islamic psychology, like connecting both degree in Islam and psychology. I always wanted to go there. 5 years later, 5 years later, I stepped inside that college as a teacher. I am now the one the students are looking at. the students are looking at, and those students tell me, ma'am, you have some aura with you. You have, like, whenever you speak, some, like, glitter stuff, like light flash. I'm like, what are these kids saying? And then they are like, ma'am, you make us believe in psychology. You make us believe in the power of psychology, in the power of our field. There are so if I have to tell these students, and since I work with these students, I was able to, if I just came studying UGC net, I wouldn't have given this to my students. Only because I did PDP and I came here, and I am able to give these techniques, show them the beauty of counseling. They are like, ma'am, we want to do counseling. Ma'am, I think it will work out for us. Ma'am, what should we do? Tell us, tell us. And that sort of love is what I wanted from my teachers. And I am today being in a position in a college that I never even thought of studying. Allah made me come there as a teacher, and to with the knowledge of PDP, I was able to or help them better, and I am so glad this happened. And as you asked me, since I'm already doing what you asked, I teach these students and I tell them that there is so much in psychology. Psychology is equals to living your life. If you want to become anything in life regarding psychology, you have to embody that. As simple as that. Okay, you are learning a theory, see how can you can make it practical in your life. The theories came into picture from practical only. To be really honest, psychology is making sense of what is practical. Already what we were doing, the behaviors of humans, everything. So when did we get lost in theories? How did we even get lost in theories when psychology is the field that you can practice even with yourself at home with people like this? If you are a doctor, you can't do that. Okay, if you're an MBBS student, you can't go and like, hey, my friend, eat this thing and see, whether it works for you. Or you can take any medicines you wish. You can't do that. Or you can like put the stitching surgical stitches you cannot try on anybody. But in psychology, you don't have to try it on anybody. You just have to open your eyes and see. And to open that eyes and see, you need a teacher, a mentor, a coach who has opened that part of themselves. And that is what is necessary. As a student, we stay connected to those people who have cracked this code or who has opened this part, who you see as, oh my god, that's the kind of, as a role model. And because of, as I was a, that student saw you and stayed connected with you. If I didn't stay connected with you and I was like, oh, this one of the reels, and if I just went back, I wouldn't be here. So see the opportunity will present to you. When you see the opportunity, seize it. Any opportunity you get to do practical training with a mentor who is so much important on inner work, get in. You don't worry about the money, don't worry about anything. As Simrat was saying, it's a lifetime investment. If you come out of the PDP as a better human, do you need anything else in the world? I don't think you would need anything else in the world, to be really honest.
Wow. Amazing, Shabnam. How is your experience inside PDP going right now? I know a lot of people already see you as a senior because it's your
Yeah,
second round, but give
yeah.
everybody a glimpse of what PDP looks like for you. How is it going for you? What's happening?
Oh my God. When I came back PDP, I was like, you know what? I will just sit back, observe, like, when I've already done this again and stuff like that. But I am learning something new every single session. As I told you, I forgot that I have a mentor who is not the same. I have a batch who is not the same. And certain batches, the people are actually going through what I am going through. And I'm like, wow, I'm getting to learn. Some people have even, shifted. And I'm learning from them. So right now, this PDP this PDP 2 is going deeper for me. going so much deeper, because that time it was all about building confidence. Here it was about embodying confidence. Okay. And when these people see me as their senior, or I'm able to help them in certain areas, and at the same time, okay, not forget that I am also learning. One thing I usually forget when I'm in this role of a senior is that I am also a student. I forget that sometimes. And this time, this experience is teaching me that, yeah, I am at the end of the day a student myself. And when you are in that mindset of a student, when you are in the mindset of a learning, you will always be learning. Any situation will become learning. But if you put yourself in a session of, I am the senior here, I know how it works, or I've already gone through whatever you're going through, you're functioning from a space of, that's it. My learning is khatam. Then it 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 won't work for me. Okay, so I had to stop myself there, and like, yes, I will show them what PDP can do for them if they continue being, and I give them these sort of tidbits on how to handle this, how to do this, and they are loving it. Okay, so I will help them in this, but I should first embody what I am, learning, to show them that this is also a possibility. So there's a lot of learning happening anytime, because you are different, ma'am. And with you being in a different space, I am getting to see a different space of myself and the people. So no class is like I come expecting it to be the same. Nothing. The inner work is keep on going. And with that inner work, the kind of person I'm becoming to my clients, the kind of confidence they are seeing in me is tremendous. And recently I increased my prices. All my prices. Like just randomly I just got up one day and I like called to all my clients like I'm increasing my price. And they are like, you should have done this way earlier. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Because it is the changes you go through when you think you deserve better, and when you are confident that you are giving the best to your clients. The clients are happy to pay you any amount you want. That's what my client said. She said, I'm willing to pay you any amount you want, you know because I am feeling the healing with you, or through you. And I think that's the most wonderful thing about being connected. You can ask any PDP alumni, if they given one chance, they will return back to PDP ASAP. And one thing that has never changed from the first batch of September 2020, was that 2022 batch, from that time till today, if something hasn't changed in people, is that whoever is completing PDP, they are like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore without these classes and stuff. Same, because I've been with Psyche for 3 years. I've edited testimonials for hundreds and hundreds of time video, and I'm seeing the same thing again, and I'm like, I tell them, you know what? This is normal withdrawal symptom. This is normal Psyche and PDP induced withdrawal symptoms. You will manage. What else am I supposed to say? so so it's not a space, it's not a group, it's a community, it's a family. If one day you're hosting a party, I even talked about this in the group. If one day you are hosting a party, I will be the chef. I love cooking, so I'll be the chef, and we'll invite all of them. And I think there are two people who even met offline, like PDP people who met offline, and they are like vibing, and I'm like, wow, you are making secure. Today I was talking to my friend, okay, on healing, on what actually kickstart healing, especially since now I'm stepping into more my field of trauma. I'm learning it and I'm stepping inside that part. And remember how in boot camp we were talking about the fear? I was actually not scared of failure. I was scared of success. And that kind of gave me such a shock. Nako andar. That gave me such a shock, because I have so much knowledge in me, so much knowledge in this brain, but I was so scared of putting out there. And because of the kind of person I will become and the kind of things that may happen, I was just not ready to believe that I was deserving of that much. And with Beat Bootcamp, I was able to be that. Now my dreams are ambitious, becoming ambitious, but for a good mission, because my base is solid now. And that is how I see being in PDP, being in the space, being in a community, being in a family, you know, is like when you step inside your best role and form. And to do that, if you want to change, you need to have a secure connection. You need to have a secure connection with something in life. And PDP was many, we see a lot of attachment theories, attachment wounds, everything. One of the things PDP did is heal that attachment place, because I can always rely on my colleagues. Refer, man, I have not, like, just this month I started Conscious Muslim. How do you think I was having clients till this 1 year? Every single thing was referral. Every single client I had was through referral. And that is also like all the PDP mates. They're like, Shabnam, you know what? I think you need to help this person. This person could you samal, you do this, you do this, you do this. I'm like, and one person was in a group, some other group, they were talking, they're like, hey, Shabnam is there now, you tell her. I'm like, yeah, what is going on here? You people are talking about me. It's so affirming. So they remember you and they come to you and they refer you. Such good bond, such secure connections. I'm healing because of these sort of connections again and again, not once, again and again.
Wow, this is amazing. I mean, wow, this is happening, I think, behind the scenes,
Yeah,
but now it's also like in the alumni group also I'm able to see
yeah,
that. Awesome.
yeah. It started.
So, Shabnam, now I think something that I am very personally very curious to know about is Conscious Muslima. Incredible, beautiful name. I love the branding. I love the first post that you have created. It's so beautiful. I wish you were here in Punjab. But then, anyways, I think, yes, it's amazing. So, what is it like?
Mhm.
You know, I think there's so many people who have connected to you through this Instagram live,
Yeah.
who have listened to you. So tell us about Conscious Muslima.
I'm already seeing someone has started following me. And okay, Conscious Muslima actually didn't come consciously. I'm just joking. Okay. So this is like, I have this habit of being a little bit more critical on myself. Whether it is, in boot camp only, we were sitting and we were talking about, like, what's the next step? What's the next step? And I have this habit of overcomplicating, which I'm seeing right now in most of our PDP mates also. They want to have the best branding, best post, best this, best that, best this. I was also going through that phase. Okay, I wanted to have the perfect color, perfect branding, perfect template, perfect name. And when I was looking at the perfection, I went nowhere. I went nowhere. But now, if you see, my branding is simple, black and white. I said to myself, you know what? And I think that also comes from you only, the zone of genius. My zone of genius is my voice, my speech, the way I explain things. That's a skill. That's a skill. My message that I have to share. You remember telling anybody can, if there are hundreds of people already doing or teaching regarding anxiety or depression or thing, they will come to you because the way you said it, right? And I really understood that, because many people all my life have told me that, Shabnam, what you say, we understand. And then I'm like, once in the boot camp, I felt like it's a disservice to God by just keeping this talent and sitting, you know it's a real disservice, and I don't want to do that. And that is how I want to, my own mission. From somewhere, when I was sitting and thinking, everything it started because I am a Muslim woman. and I have gone through a lot of struggles being a Muslim. And the struggle did not come from my religion, it came from the society. Okay, my inner society itself. Hence, and I was, we do market research, we go to people who are already following our niche and just, do market study. And when I did that, there was no one who are trauma informed. In India itself, there are 2, 3 people rarely who are trauma informed. And with me learning trauma informed, I would be one of them. 2, for Muslims, there were no niche, no people at all. And I was moved. That's when my own mission became so much bigger and I was scared. That was what I was scared of, to be honest. And there I said, Ya Allah, what are you putting me through? Okay, I was scared of, and there was one more word that you said. What are you scared of? What are you trying to achieve by being in the crowd? Being one of the crowd. I think you asked this question in boot camp, and it was like a slap on my face. I've never stood in the crowd. I was always standing out. Always, anytime. You can paint me in one color and try to put me in a mingle. I won't. It is a habit. Then I was like, why? Why am I putting myself? And that is how the difference in thought pattern started. I allowed my brain, I started working on my spiritual self, and that is exactly where my mission started becoming so much powerful. Conscious Muslima is a space where I want to help women transform. I want to use spirituality, the faith base that we have as Muslims, as the means to do their healing. Because when I heal people now, when I heal people, we human beings will never find safety in anything outside, in the world, in the people. I think you can understand that. The belief of a universe, of a God watching over us, taking care of us, is so much more than people. And I think when people come, my goal is to take these Muslim women, reconnect them with their faith. And in Islam, we believe that there is a natural guiding from God towards every person to choose good. Just see which things are blocking that, remove that, and reconnect them with the part of themselves that's secure connection with God. That's so much more enough. That person will become a conscious Muslima. And conscious Muslima is, you gotta be an action taker to do that. Definitely. You can't become conscious by saying, yeah, I will do it tomorrow. No, I am in that space. And I think I'm really seeing where I can be, what I can be. And this conscious Muslima, I'm now envisioning who she is as a person. She's a strong, powerful woman who knows her rights of being a Muslim and how beautiful it is. She knows the rights of other people. She gives rights of other people. She's able to stand up for herself. I mentioned this, most of the time Indian women get abused or get hurt. You can see our parents or women's at home or family or the society is because no women will tolerate disrespect. No women will tolerate disrespect. It's just because she doesn't know what respect looks like that she's able to. She's just staying in that relationship or being there. So when you start learning what respect looks like, what healings look like, what is your rights, what's your obligations, what you don't even have to do, what are the things, obligations that you don't even have to do, you know? And with, I want to take psychology and combine it. I want to bring the psychological tools to this person, mend their faith, and just watch them bloom. I am on a mission to not just become that myself, but to create a channel of women. Because if you empower one woman, she will empower one family, her family, her people's family, around her family. So one person, I know this is sounding ambitious, but I am believing it. I am believing this to happen. So every single client or people who watch my reels, watch my page, this is so much more. It's not even in my hands anymore. I've always praised, Ya Allah, make me an instrument to a service, as an instrument to to, to, to bring people to you, to bring people to safety. And that is exactly what I'm on a mission. I have so many women to change, so many women to impact, so many women to transform. And that women to transform their family, their children, the upcoming generation. There is this concept of sadaqatul jariyah in I was talking to you of sadaqah. Sadaqah is an involuntary charity. It doesn't have to be just money. It is anything. Okay, even saying assalamu alaikum, that is, may peace and be blessing on you, and to a random stranger, and they're like, oh my god, a random stranger told to me, I have to tell a random stranger. Because for us, Muslims are one. There's no nationality, there's no, you can be from anywhere. If I see you and recognize you as a Muslim, I'll say you peace, because that's how we are one. And embodying that part in this. So somebody, some clients, some generational person that does good, it will come back to me. Okay, so that's sort of a bigger thing. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing it for anything, but I'm doing it to bring people, to heal Muslim women, ma'am, because we need Muslim therapists who can understand the trials we are going through, as coming from Desi, especially Desi parents and Desi society. And that is what I want our Muslim women, or you can be of women from any faith. If you want to work on your, you can call it universe, you can call it God, you can call it anything. If you want to add belief, faith in your life, I am here for you. I am here to do that. This is just a start. I'm not even like 1% inside. Then I am envisioning where I will be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, when I become a mother, wife, when I become a grandmother. I don't know. The world is infinite. That's what I said. Psyche has given me a possibilities. It has opened a world of possibilities for me and the person that I can become. So that's the goal of conscious Muslima, is creating conscious people, creating conscious women who can stand for herself, who can choose for herself, and who can prioritize herself and be safe in her feminine role, rather than just fighting with masculine role that the world is right now pushing all of us to be, with the equal work opportunities and everything. Yeah.
Wow, this is so beautiful. I think the world really needs it. Shabnam, there are very beautiful things that you said. One of them being that there's nothing outside in the world that can make you feel safe.
Yeah.
So you have to go within, you have to encounter
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
journey. You have so I always say, one of the things can exist. It can either be fear or faith. Both
Yeah.
faith and fear
Yeah.
cannot exist in the same place
Exactly.
together. So
Yeah.
you can choose. Am I operating from a space of fear? If yes,
Mm-hmm.
that means I don't have faith.
Yeah.
And if I have faith, there is no space for fear. So
Mm.
that's really amazing. It's beautiful. And there are many other beautiful things that you mentioned. And I think the world really needs it at this place
Yeah.
that we see everything
Mm-hmm.
right now. It's amazing the work that you're doing, the gap that you have identified, and
Yeah.
how you're leading by an example for everybody around
Yes.
you. So,
Yes. We did this activity, you were asking us to to tell about ourselves from somebody else's point of view, right? To identify the values or something. We were doing this just in the act this week. And I was talking from a space of my daughter and my son, and that kind of like jolted me on my mission, the kind of person I'm becoming, and how important it is to be a good person, good human. I was also talking about akhlaq, the honing of a character. If I want to show the world that a conscious Muslim is possible, then I have to be the conscious Muslim. There's no other way. no other example I can take from anywhere to tell them. That's how the making of a conscious Muslim has come.
Amazing. This also brings me to, how impactful the top 1% psychologist bootcamp has been. So
Life
I think I should
changing.
open gates to that again,
Yeah,
maybe. Like,
that's why, when you gave it as a bonus for the sale, I was like so shocked as well. I was literally telling it to my friends, guys, go get something. You're getting it for free. Can you imagine it? It's life changing. But again, we can't push people towards change. The decision, they have to take it. And when they take that decision, things will start aligning for them. Like how I took the decision, I still remember the text I sent you, ma'am. I want this year to be the best counseling year, and it's not even. It's 3 months in. I kind of dedicated 6 months for myself. I said 6 months I'm gonna be dedicating so hard. In 3 months itself, I'm feeling so grateful, so thankful. And one more question you asked: if 1 year from today you are to die, what would you regret not doing? And this is what I would regret not doing, like legit. So yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. The so just being connected with you and just doing the acts that you are doing, whether it is boot camp, whether it is PDP, whether it is Limitless with CBD, any course with you, and also following your Spotify, your trainings, the free training, ma'am, simply that you sent in the group, which you shared for the PDP. I don't even know whether people watched it. I watched it. I listened to it multiple times. I sat, I cried, writing forgiveness letter, and I embodied that to my client, and she was able to heal her constipation. She had gut related issue for a long time. And I am like, I was baffled by what she said. And I was like,
you know
this
how
person.
constipation happens? It psychologically, it,
Yeah, it's the holding on
it's the
to
need
things
to
that
control things.
yeah, yeah,
So the person wants to control everything around them,
yeah,
and that's how it happens. They want to hold on to that as well.
yeah,
So this is amazing. I mean, it's beautiful how she was able to realize your client that it is more psychological
yeah.
than it is physical, and you both
Because
were able to work on it.
worked. It kind of worked because see, when many people tell me I'm working on this thing in my life, I'm trying to change my diet. Whether it's, let's say, PCOS itself, I'm trying to change my diet. Okay, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. If you don't work on your emotional baggage, whatever it is stopping, psychological reasoning, agar we are not working on that, the medicines that you are taking, herbal medicines, food change, gym, will not able to pass through you from that
Very
psychological
true.
burden. And that was something I realized, and now I am able to see that and help my clients crack that code. That's beautiful. It's working like miracles. I'm cracking trauma clients, ma'am, with this technique. Can you even believe? It's surreal for me. That small technique that you gave for free, I am able to crack one more milestone of my trauma client. Amazing.
I
Amazing.
I think you very rightly said that we cannot force somebody to change. That desire of, I want to do something different, I want to do something big, I am ready to take the
Yeah,
challenges, I am ready to give
yeah.
it all in because I've only got one life. It has to come from within. And
Hmm.
when that desire is strong enough, you take steps towards it,
Yeah.
you grab every opportunity, the very beautiful message that you gave for everybody. Any opportunity that you get, seize it. So even that
Yeah.
free stuff, that there is so much of it
Yeah.
on Spotify, on WhatsApp group, you just scroll it. Instagram Reels for that matter, you scroll it. There's just
So
so
much.
much. I think these interviews that we are talking in, there's so much wisdom from so many psychologists.
Yeah.
I think the person who really wants to do something, they just have to go ahead, have that desire
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
And when you have
Yeah.
that desire, there are so many ways that will lead you there. I have people who have gotten jobs from free resources that I share on Instagram and then
Definitely.
enrolled into PDP. So I
Yeah,
don't understand when you say something is not possible. How?
yeah.
It's
We
you're only
are
limiting it in your
exactly.
head.
We are called like we are people living in Delulu world for charging 2,000, 3,000, and stuffs like that. When people look at us, they're like, what sort of a life they are living? Some sort of a own world? No, ma'am. No, just because your standards are too low doesn't mean ours doesn't exist. Okay? And it also reflects your inner reality. You don't think you deserve this much. You don't think it's possibility for you, so you are making that as a reality. So that is those things are all like if we went inside, we will have another full an hour session. I don't even know the time. Another hour session on talking about the mechanisms of mindset shift and everything. And I can guide people to top 1% psychologist bundle. Kuch bhi,
I think we
बहुत
should do
ज्यादा.
it again sometime with the amount of things that we have to talk about.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
really, I think it's very deep. It's
deep.
there's so much we talked about. It's been so
Um,
resourceful. I think
yes.
the next time we talk about, we should talk more about I think I want to talk more about conscious Muslima, one,
Mhm.
and also the top 1% psychologist bundle. I didn't know it was this good. I mean,
People
I know it was good
intelligent.
because everything I do, I give it my 100%, but I didn't know it was
Yeah,
this amazing. So maybe
yeah.
I'll open doors for it because I want people to change their lives. It's a
Definitely.
beautiful stepping stone to get started with and then upgrade to more things.
Yeah. And people should have that desire. Many people tell me that, oh, it's not possible for us. They see something and they get scared of, the amount, or they get scared of. But I think they are just scared of facing that part of themselves. And I'm saying this from a genuine care. Sometimes when we are in the field of social media, na, whatever we say becomes a little bit unsensitive. Sometimes when we are talking from a space of we want people to change, but it comes from a space of care, but वो जो 1 minute में you have to record a reel, it sometimes become
Right.
forceful, so that's what I want to say, कि we genuinely want goodness for you. Our life is changing and we want your life to change as well, and that is why I am saying कि a boot camp that was given as a bonus for people has it's like a you add pepper to turmeric and it becomes 200% powerful. ऐसा हो जाता. So you have to believe that this will happen, and hence fear and belief cannot be in one place. You have to choose one. So that's the choice they have to take. So अगर वो choice लेकर if they come to psyche, then I think everything will align to them from that moment on.
Absolutely. I think for such a long period of time, we delay our own growth simply by not believing that it is
Yeah,
possible for
yeah,
us. Simply
definitely.
by not fueling that desire and making it strong enough, we just
Yeah,
delay our progress, our growth by so much. I have people coming to me telling me that, I inquired about PDP when it was just X amount and now it is this.
yeah,
Why is your desire not strong enough that I want to do it and I want to do it right away, right
yeah,
now? I mean,
yeah,
no offense. I think there's divine timing and there is, divine functioning of everything. So there is the right time for you. When you step inside PDV, that is the best right time for you. But
yeah.
I think we need to find ways to come out of this guilt, this shame that we put ourselves into, this regret of I missed out on something. And again, like you said, not seizing the opportunity at the right time. Right now is the right time if you make it the right time. If you keep waiting for
Exactly.
it, the right time is never
Exactly.
going to come.
And we need more people talking about this, ma'am. People are just out there selling. You can sell hundreds of items. Okay, that will not make you different from a merchant who is selling. Okay, but people wants value. People want change, and it's scary to be someone who's giving a different opinion than the norm. Right
Mhm.
now, when we are talking about saying charging premium clients and everything, people are like, what nonsense is that for me? They are not paying 200, 300. How can they pay 2,000 for you? Madam, we need people telling, more people telling कि psychologist से बहुत कुछ possible है. A psychologist can have 9 jobs, 8 jobs, 7 jobs. Okay, it's your reality. You can do.
And I
That's
think
what I tell
we
my
don't
students
talk
also.
about the fair energy exchange enough as well. The
Yes,
reason
yes.
I have also seen that, if I compare the transformation of first batch of PDP to the
Hmm,
latest batches of PDP,
hmm,
it's one thing that I have transformed, and which is the reason the investment increase and everything has happened. But another thing is that the more people invest, the more they are invested into
yeah,
what they're moving towards. If
yeah,
they are paying you less than a pizza's cost for a session, that is how much they value that particular thing. And
yeah,
I know people who are charging $250 at almost 20,000 to
yeah,
25,000 a session, and there are people paying that.
yeah.
It's all about how much is your value. If the value that you're offering in a session is restricted to that amount, that is the energy exchange that you are going to attract. The
Definitely.
more you increase your value, the more you become somebody that you're meant to, that can attract a higher level of value. It's
Yeah,
automatically going to come your way.
yeah,
So I think instead of focusing on how can I make 5,000 bucks an hour, you need to focus on how can I make my hour so valuable that people would be
yeah.
ready to pay 10x of what I desire to charge. And that's what
Definitely.
makes all the difference.
And I see this in people because when I go into my therapy, I don't see whether I'm charging 500, 1,500, or I'm taking a pro bono case. I give them you know, equal treatment. And because the amount is has nothing to do with the person that I am. Even if I'm charging 5,000, people will be ready to pay. That much amount of confidence and trust in my abilities I have to develop. If you don't even believe that whatever you're doing in this 45 minutes is worth even 1,000 rupees, then I think there's some
The
more
question
problem.
that we need to ask is, would I pay myself 1,000 bucks for this session?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's so much. I think that will put people in a really like a that will make them feel sad. But I think this sadness is you need it because you have to keep on developing. You have to keep on. And first of all, I changed my financial mindset, not just regarding counseling, but regarding myself. You remember me, ma'am. I did not like spending on myself a single part. I will love to work. I am a
Yes.
hard worker. I earn, I do everything, but I don't keep it for myself. Not even a single rupee. And when I do anything for myself, it comes from a space of fear. Today, I choose everything as an investment because of you. Okay, I get a cream. I'm like, this may last 3, 4 months for me, and I'm investing it on myself. Now, okay, this is for myself, for my skincare. I have different needs. My body have different needs, and one thing is we live in a country that is more fair obsessed, that's more catering towards fairness, and we see in cinemas and televisions also only fair representatives. We don't see people of color. When India, especially the place that I come from, Tamil Nadu, we are all this color. Okay, this is natural color. I am not popped out of nowhere. Okay, and I am proud to be a Tamil person. Anybody who sees me will not doubt me for who I am next time. They will know that, okay, she looks okay. I can guess her ethnicity from 2, 3 options, but somewhere they will click and they will come to this solution. Is that not a good thing? I don't have to put a badge to tell I'm an Indian. I don't have to put a badge to tell I'm a Tamilan. I have pride in myself for where I belong. And the so sad is the people from here are obsessed with fairness. And that is where I chose ki I will show my face. I will sit there and talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about here. And I want to tell this to every single Tamil person, South Indian person of my people or person of color, that we have so much to give to the world. they have no rights to take that away from me. And I was able to do that because I also, apart from you, I have another person, when you were talking about indirectly affecting me in my journey, I have another. Only after I saw her as a representative, being a person of color, coming there and talking so much unapologetically, just talking whatever she wants with such a wise wisdom, that's what made me realize ki we need more representatives in the media, in the society, in the world outside. And that's how, I kind of came to step inside. Kyuki there's so much I have to give that, and I want so much the other people out there to see me and learn, because we want more representatives in the world. It's as true. And when we see these representatives, we learn from them कि ये मुझसे भी possible है. Okay, this person may understand what I'm going through. Yesterday, I had someone coming to me and they're like, I want to get counseling session from you. I'm like, okay, tell me, what do you want? Like, I want counseling session from you. Everything she's telling, the end sentences, I want counseling session from you. I was like, ठीक है भाई, I understand कि you want it from me. I get the emotion, okay? So I felt so good. I felt so good.
Wow. Amazing, Shabnam. I think we have been talking for a while now. We might need a part two, which we can plan behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
this has been beautiful. I
Yeah.
think we have talked about a lot of things.
Yeah.
We've talked extensively about PDP and then Conscious Muslima. We've talked about the top 1% psychologist
Yeah.
boot camp and everything on earth. So thank you so much for taking out all your time. I think you have to wake up early in the
Yeah.
morning. It's Ramadan.
For my fasting.
Sorry
Yeah.
for keeping you
No
for
issues,
so long.
no issues,
But
man.
then thank you for I think it's a service that you did today,
Yeah.
sharing all of this with everybody. And I think there are so many lives that are going to get impacted through this interview. So
Inshallah.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in at this hour of the night. It's been absolutely incredible having all of you here, having Shabnam here. Okay, guys, if you want to know more about what Shabnam does, where does she do it, you can go ahead and follow her at Conscious Muslima, CONSCIOUS. Is it an underscore? Underscore Muslimah, MUSMILAH. It's amazing how she's combining faith, spirituality, and psychology and helping all of you through her counseling sessions. I genuinely support her. There are so many PDPNs that support her through so much of referral. Her work, again, like I vouch for it. It speaks for her. So just go ahead and try it out. I know you're going to come back to me with so much of love. Absolutely. We are proud of Shabnam and we're proud of you as well, Arpita. So
Thank
it's
you.
incredible.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, guys. And we'll meet in the next live session. I am currently not posting on Instagram regularly. I am embodying a different version of myself. I'm working on different things. Let's see what comes up, what happens. Till then, follow Shabnam. Get in touch with us, our team on Instagram, if you want to explore the programs that Psyche offers, the self-paced ones, or you want to go all in and step inside PDP. I'm running the last batch of PDP with me. You can jump inside that as well. And that's it. We'll meet when we'll meet. Thank you so much, Shabnam. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye. Have a good night. We'll meet. Bye.